say, can you see that the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars.
All right, I'm not going to make everyone suffer through the entire thing of that.
Oh, God.
Welcome back
That would've been
to
the whole show.
Welcome back to Dan and Tony Sports for the first time in 2 weeks. Guess what, guys? We beat coronavirus.
You did.
I did. I beat coronavirus. That's right. That is right. Guys, like I said, it's been 2 weeks. How have you been?
Great.
Good.
Wunderbar.
Not sick like you.
Not sick like me. That's exactly right. But while I was feeling sick, physically, after hearing Shaka Khan's rendition of the national anthem at the All-Star game, I got sick again.
I can imagine.
It was so bad.
I just heard a couple seconds.
Shaka Khan.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, who is that?
She's a musician from Chicago.
R&B.
Yeah, I'd say R&B. What, late 80s?
She's old school.
Mid to late 80s?
Yeah.
She's won a bunch of awards, Grammys and stuff like that. But she absolutely has the absolute worst rendition of the national anthem that I've ever heard. When talking with some of my friends, I had described it as, and I quote, I've never heard something as orally offensive as that rendition of our national anthem.
That's pretty offensive.
I then took a picture from the video of Giannis Antetokounmpo looking up, and I asked people, comment, what is he thinking right now? And the number one comment that I could come up with is, glad she's not singing my national anthem.
Yeah. Please speed it up.
Seriously, like, that was by far, like, Fergie 2 years ago was really fucking bad. This was worse. And it was 3.5 minutes. If she were doing the Super Bowl, I would have hit the over. Dan O'Shea, you would have had money. I would have had more money. We would have fucking hit the... Oh, no, we were doing over... Never mind. We were doing over on the score. But if we could have done those prop bets, we would have hit over.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So, All-Star Game. Did you guys watch it?
Bits and pieces.
There's a new format, and for the first time in, like, forever, I feel like there was actually some competition going on. There were blocks, there were steals. Maybe there wasn't great defense, but definitely much more competitive than it has been in the past.
Now, I did see highlights, but you know I wasn't going to watch.
Yeah.
So, that being said, after that rendition of the anthem, boy, am I glad I made that decision.
Aren't we all?
Well, not you. You suffered through it.
I did not see the national anthem. I had seen on Twitter how bad it was, and today I was like, I guess I'm going to have to do it.
I tried to watch, and then I had shit to do.
That's a good point. I feel like...
Because if you don't have shit to do throughout those grueling minutes, then your life needs more in it. Because that is way too long. Way too long.
Yeah. It's definitely too long.
Rough.
It was... and it was so bad. So bad. Like, I just... Every time she would go and do her own thing, I would just keep thinking, put me out of my misery, please. Please, just cut off my ears so I don't have to listen to
You're
this.
gonna change the channel.
I did not have the... No, I listened to it this morning so that we could talk about it tonight.
Okay.
So I suffered through it for you three.
Thank you.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
You are welcome. Oh, man. But anyways, the All-Star Game had a new format. Kind of weird. I didn't like it. A lot of people seem to like it. Yeah, so each quarter, so for the first 3 quarters, they kept quarter score and donated money to charity based on who had the highest score at the end of a quarter.
Well, you know, they probably got the idea from NASCAR because they changed to doing segments.
We're not even going to talk about NASCAR.
I'm just saying they probably influenced them.
But anyways, the fourth quarter...
Stages, I'm sorry. Stages.
The fourth quarter was different. Instead of just letting them play to whatever until the time runs out, they set a target score for them to get to. And it's weird. Like, I never would have thought of that being...
Yeah, I mean, I heard the format was different. To be honest, well, you're going to get to it, so I'm going to let you break down the new format and everything else about it first.
But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, once you get to the fourth quarter, they set a target score based on, I don't remember the exact what they base it on, but both teams are playing to that score. So I think it was 157 points is what untimed quarter they play until they reach 157 points, which the end of the game was bullshit, but that's neither here nor there. I don't like that format. I'm not a big fan.
No,
not a big fan.
Get creative with it. Just keep it traditional.
If you want to, like, there are ways to make this more fun and entertaining. I think,
like the 3-point or the dunk contest.
Well, yeah, so those are fun, but also, I think what they could do to make the actual All-Star Game more fun is that there are 4 teams, or even 3 teams.
If LeBron's team loses, he has to miss the rest of the season.
No, I'm not. That's not a real suggestion. So we'll say 3 teams. All right. The first 5 minutes, you have a team on. The team that has, or the first two teams on, team that has the highest score at the end of those 5 minutes, then plays a second group of 5 that come on.
Like
and then they keep going. Like, there's a drill that you can do, a 3-on-3 drill, where there are 3 teams. So the first 2 teams start, and at the one end of the court, there's a team of 3 waiting to play defense. So when one of the 2 teams on the court score or force a turnover, they then run it back to the other 3 waiting on defense. And it just keeps going like that. Make it something like that instead of just a traditional game. And
I'll be honest with you. I kind of like the way the hockey does it. Is divided into divisions and make the teams out of them play to 21 and play a tournament for all I give a shit. Play limited quarters or whatever. Make it competitive and make them try to get to the end, and then give them more money for whoever ends up coming out on top, for all I care. But, I mean, you're making all-star teams out of the... I mean, I know it's the East Coast and West Coast, but, like, have them divide some way. Like, the one on the top goes with the one on the bottom, and then so on and so forth until you have 4 different teams. Have the 2 in the East go against each other, the 2 in the West go against each other. Those 2 teams go on to the finals, winner wins it all. Have them play to 50 for all I give a shit.
Right.
Like, make it so that there's some incentive to actually win a game and then to go on and win a game again. Because the hockey players, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but they get a bonus if they win the whole thing. And they also get. So, I mean, there's got to be a competitive way. Like, I didn't mind the last 4th quarter, like the first team to whatever points. Like, I didn't mind that aspect. Because one team is obviously down, the other team has less way to go. And it definitely made the game more competitive at the end. It made them actually give a shit about trying to, like, get the win.
But the way it ended sucked. sucked. Do you guys know how it ended?
I
didn't see that.
ended off some bullshit. I remember
An
that.
Anthony Davis free throw got them to fucking 157.
Yeah,
it ended on a free throw.
Right, but that's not always going to be the case. But in this sense, like, a free throw actually fucking mattered in the All-Star game. Like, that doesn't happen normally. Like, defense was actually being played down the stretch there, to the point that Giannis said that his entire offensive strategy was get the ball to whoever was guarding by Harden.
Yeah. Giannis's offensive strategy was to get the ball to whoever is guarded by Harden because he doesn't play defense.
Dude did his research.
What a dick. What a dick.
mean, he's not wrong. Dude doesn't play defense. I mean, it's not like it's a secret in the NBA that Harden doesn't care about defense. He
doesn't play defense.
Does he even try?
in a regular game. Sure as shit not going to do it in the All-Star game.
No.
Hey, let me put my hand in your face, try to get distracted from shooting that ball.
One thing that I like about the way they do the All-Star game, and I guess the NFL tried doing it as well. I don't remember if they did. But I like the fact that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were on opposite teams.
Yeah, I mean, that is nice. I guess if they're picking the teams that... Or, I mean, even you could do it that way. Give it 4 captains, and all 4 captains, whoever's leading MVP vote at that point, the top 4, they get to choose their teams. Have it be a team of 7. Have it limit it down. Maybe in teams of 8. Now 40 All-Stars are in. But 20 of them are getting eliminated right off the rip.
And then, oh, man. You know what they should do? Add a knockout challenge. 10 guys, 1 line.
I mean, that should happen anyway.
3-point knockout, all centers. See, that's where I think the All-Star games and the festivities have potential. Like, with the Super Bowl, like, would it not be more fun to see Ndamukong Suh be the quarterback? Like, he can't fucking play quarterback. But you know what? Flag football game, make people play out of position, way more entertaining.
It would definitely be entertaining. I'll give you that.
Or like Major League Baseball All-Star game. You know what, Bartolo Colon? You're playing second. Have at it. You know what? Fucking I don't know who's that. Mike Trout. You're pitching today, asshole. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think that'd be more fun.
Either way, like, either make it more entertaining and make it a little ridiculous like that, or find a way, like I said, to do what the NHL All-Star Game does and make it competitive. You have to do one or the other, because this shit that you've been doing for years, it doesn't work. Like, I don't give a shit about the All-Star Game. I don't give a shit about the Chinese Basketball League in general this year, but even if I was watching games, I still wouldn't have watched the fucking All-Star Game.
That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, Jesus, Tony.
I'm a fucking man of my word. Unlike LeBron bitch.
There are two other options that you can do with this. You can push the All-Star Game to the end of the season and then do a NBA versus college elites challenge, which I think would be entertaining as well. Take the best of the best in college and have them play. It can even be just a team. Like, okay, you know, this college basketball all-star team, you play the Suns.
I mean, I guess you could do that. I mean, that it seems like it would actually be a game, but I mean, that's not an all-star game. That's just a fucking exhibition to find out how bad the Suns are.
And as we're talking about the all-star game, ESPN's reporting NBA likely to keep all-star game format.
Oh, good. They didn't fucking hear a word we said.
Yeah. The other option, which obviously isn't going to happen, you can just get rid of the all-star game. Like, who needs the all-star game?
I'm okay with that because, again, like I said, even if I cared about this season in basketball, I still couldn't find it in me to give a shit about the all-star game. I watched the highlights of the finals of the dunk contest. That's what I did. And then I watched the highlights of the NBA all-star game. And that's it. I don't care about the three-point contest. I don't care. Unless there's big names.
The dunk contest was sick, though. The dunk contest was absolutely awesome.
The final two going after it, they were really upping their games for dunks, but
Gordon got robbed.
Arguably, when you jump over Taco Fall, yes, you got robbed. If you
got robbed.
But that being